Hey, everybody. It's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie. And we are going to be doing some kind of flip up page corner tuck spot pocket thingies today. So if this is your first time over to the channel, if you love doing junk journaling type of crafting, then this is definitely the channel for you. So I always like to make the suggestion that you go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when more videos like this one come out. And so today we're only going to be using a few simple things, just some cardstock. I'm going to be using my vintage photo, of course. I got the big cutter out, and also I'm going to be doing a little bit of sewing as well. So also what we've been doing is we are attempting to do 20 pieces of ephemera a day, and so we've been doing that, and today we're going to try to make 20 pockets in a few different sizes today. So I hope you all will stay on and join me. And for those of you, again, that are coming on a little bit later, I don't know if I said it or not, this is being recorded via live chat. So you can always find me on the live chat if you hit the notification button. Hopefully you'll be notified. Hey, Rachel, how are you doing today? I took out just a few pieces of scrap paper. I got some more scrap pages, and I did a few cuts. So the pockets that I'm making are going to be, I'm going to be using 5x5 squares and 4x4 squares. And I'll just kind of give you a little look-see here. This is a book that I'm working on now. And so what I did was just measure from here to here. And it's about 5.5 inches. So I wanted the pocket to be kind of big. So I'll kind of show you what it looks like. I got 2 of them, I think, that are done. Let me find them. Over here on the side here, I had it. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, so here's a 5x5 that we're going to be using, that we can use. And so I just wanted to make sure that the angle is like a triangle. This one's a little bit big for this page, but what you can do with it is you can flip it open like that, and then you can write on it. So it's like another journaling opportunity, or you can stick a card or something inside here like this. So those are what we're making, and I'm going to be making a bunch. We're going to be making a bunch, so I hope you all will come on and join me. So let me do this and put these over to this side, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I think this one is not quite, yeah, this is a 5. So I'm going to cut some 5x5s first. And I got the big cutter out so I can actually cut more than one piece. And of course I'm keeping the scraps because, you know, there's a lot that can be done with those scraps, of course. And I tried to pick out some of my lighter colors to do this as well this time. But, you know, if you're doing this for yourself, you can pick out any ones that you want. Let me put a few pieces on here. 1, 2, 3. Because this paper cutter can definitely handle this. This is my favorite paper cutter. I actually have it kind of folded in half to save some space here on my desk. And then we're going to let's do it this way. I'm trying to be mindful of the decorations. Hello, Tamika. How are you doing today? I hope all is well. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I did. And I was going to come on Saturday and do a little bit of a recap, but I just didn't get a chance to do it. So I was beating myself up a little bit about that, but then I was like, you know what? You do what you can. And in this case, I really just needed to concentrate on some other things for the weekend. So let's see. I'm going to do 20, so we got how many pages so far, because that's a quick cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do just a few more here of these. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Tamika. I'm doing just fine here in not so sunny Florida today. It has been just a very dark, a dreary, rainy day today. And when I went to the post office to drop some packages off, I was thinking, man, it looks like it's going to hell outside. But it didn't, thank goodness. And we are a-okay. It's not so, it's not sewing. It's not raining at the moment, but it was earlier. All right, so I got a few 5x5s. So I am going to do some 4x4s because I want to make some that are just a tidbit smaller than the 5x5, so I can have a few different, I can have some different options. It's cloudy in North Carolina. I don't know what the weather is. I don't know if there's a storm going through or what. So we all might be getting kind of the same kind of weather from some kind of tropical storm or something, because it is that season. It's the bad weather season. All right, let's see. This one is 4 inches, so I can do 4 inches on these also. So this is an easy project for today as well. Yeah, it's tornado season. So far, we've been really lucky in my area down here in Florida. We haven't had any tornadoes to deal with. But when I lived in the Midwest, we did. Okay. Let me do a count on these again, because I like counting, like the count on Sesame Street. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got 20. Okay, so I don't need this any longer. So I'll take it off my desk. Although I love it so much. I love it so much. So the next thing that I'm going to do with these, my 2 shapes here, is I'm actually going to pull out some stencils before I fold these in my vintage photo. And I'm using, this is a stencil from Tim Holtz, and it has like some honeycombs on it and then like some crazy looking circles. And then also, this is actually a stencil I have up in my shop. This was a prototype, but the real one is made out of stencil material. So, but I call it the Imperfect Bubbles, and I'm going to use this too. And you all will see how this all comes into play. Hold on one second here. I need... I just wanted to get some deli paper so I won't mess my desk up even more than it's already messed up. And on the back of these, I'm just going to stencil, just kind of lightly stencil on the back of these. Nothing wild and crazy. So I'm going to take my Imperfect Bubbles and just go lightly over this, because I want this to still be like a... I want it to be a journaling opportunity. So, but at the same time, when you open up the card, I don't want it to be like so just blank. So see, we have some imperfect circles, and I'll do a few more of those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few and finish them off so y'all can see what they look like. And then we'll just, for the rest of our hour together, we'll just kind of work through things together. Because I don't think I'll be able to finish 20 of these within an hour. And I'm going to try to start keeping the live stream down to about an hour, because That way I can get some other stuff done. Although y'all know how much I love being on here with you. Now this prototype stencil is so hard. It's kind of rough on my blending tool. And I'm not even worried about getting all the way to the edge. Let's do another. I'm going to use my Tim Holtz one. So I'm not even like lining it up and worrying too much about it. Put this over on this side. I'm just getting it on here enough so I can hold it down. And rub, rub, rub. And then do the other side as well. And I am lining my honeycombs up a little bit here, so it won't be so like a straight line down the middle. So this is not a tutorial. I always say that this is not a tutorial, but I always like to let you all know what I'm doing, just in case you want to copy. See, there's like a little line down the middle here, but that's okay. I can kind of get rid of that line. So nothing has to be perfect in this job here. And do a few more of these and then I'll go to the next step, so y'all can see where we're going with this. And I like kind of doing the stenciling on the inside. Of course, you can use any kind of stencil that you would like if you had maybe like a floral stencil, or you know, just some leaves or something. Any pattern I think would really work well, just so you can kind of break that white up that's on the inside. And let's do another one of these, because we don't want to grunge it up to, you know, we don't want to be too wild and crazy with it. We just want to just kind of knock that white back, but you'll still be able to write on it. That's what I'm going for. I like to save the journaling opportunities. So did you all do anything wacky on the weekend? And happy late Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I don't think I did too much on Saturday. But I think it was kind of a nice relaxing Saturday. I did do some things, but it must not have been that important because I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. Oh, before I put that away, I want to go around the edges as well. So for these, we're just going to put our other ones aside for the moment so I can show you all some finished ones. And I'm just going to go around the edges of these also. And I'm going to go around the front and the back of these. So this is probably the most time consuming part, not even the sewing part, because you know, I'm going to do some sewing today. So that's how come I just wanted to do a few, so you all can see it finished, and then I'll move on after that. And I desperately needed to do these for my books because I wanted to put some of these book corners in, but I didn't have any. So we're going to make some go into the books. I really like the way these came out when I tested it a little bit. Of course, I always do a little bit of testing. Plus, I need a few of these for my thumbnail, so I always do some ahead of time. And I really like the way that they came out. I actually put them together while I was watching Netflix. Because all my Supernaturals, I'm done with them. I have to wait till the next season of Supernatural drops, so that probably won't be until next year. That's the only thing that I hate about watching TV series, is sometimes you have to wait. I put the deli paper down to catch all the little pieces that are coming off the blending tool, because although I changed this pad, it's still like some little debris coming off, which it doesn't bother me, but I don't want it. I don't want the debris that's covered in ink to be all over everything, because you know you want to at least start off with a clean surface. Oops, I don't know. I think I'm going off camera here because the camera's a little bit far away from me. So yesterday we didn't go any place for Mother's Day because we always usually decide to stay in when it's like a holiday, because you know the restaurants are always crazy because everybody's taking, you know, their wives and sisters and mothers and aunts and all that stuff out for Mother's Day. So we decided to stay in, and I went to my favorite fish market and got some fish to cook, because that's what my mom said she wanted. She said she wanted fish because she likes the way I cook fish, which is such a compliment because my mom is a good cook too. And we had fish for dinner. So even though it was Sunday, my fish market always stays open on Sundays. So, well, not stay open, but they're open on Sundays, and they have fresh fish. And it's kind of crazy because I always wonder, like, somebody showed me where they were because they're like all up in the cut. I'm like, how do they get business? But apparently a lot of people know about them. And I go to my local fishmonger, and usually I get to go like into the freezer. That if you tell them what you want to pick out some fish, you can go right into the freezer and get what you want. And it's usually nice and arctically cool in there. Which I'm only in there for a few minutes, but I don't know what it is, but I love seeing like all the fresh fish and in the ice and everything. It's just, to me, it's kind of cool. I don't know what it is. The fishies. I come from a fishing family too. My dad liked to fish, my mom liked to fish, my aunts, uncles, my brothers, everybody loved going fishing. Now me, I'll cook the fish, I'll clean the fish, but you know, I don't have to go out and catch the fish personally. I'm that kind of girl. I'm that kind of girl. I do not have to catch any fish. I'm perfectly happy with the men going out and bringing the food, hunting and gathering, and then me cooking it. I'm okay with that. Even the cleaning part, I don't mind cleaning the fishies. Not at all. Because even though I eat mostly vegetarian and vegan, I do eat fish as well. All right, so now these little guys are all zhuzhed up. Now the next thing I'm going to do is fold them, and I don't use any tools for this. So if you guys have any good ideas, I just line up the little end here, and then I just pull it in the middle and then go out. And then usually if I cut this even, it'll be okay. Like this one was okay, but if I didn't cut it even, then it won't. Now let me get my bone folder here so we can have a nice flat edge. And do the next one. I find that picking it up is just easier for me. And see, this one probably wasn't that even. There's a little bit of an edge, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad yet. I'll just cut off any little extra lip that's left over, and nobody will be the wiser. Nobody's gonna know but me. And check the bone folder. And next. So we already have our little triangle fold-ups, which is quite nice. That one's pretty good. Gotta concentrate, y'all. Gotta concentrate on this. I wanted to use like some lighter papers that I have, but I don't have a lot of bright papers, so that's something I'm gonna have to work on. But I'm not gonna buy any more until I kind of use up the paper pads that I have. Which, like I said, I don't have a lot of paper pads, but these projects just don't use a lot of paper. It seems like it would, even though we're doing the 20, our project 20, where we're doing our 20 pieces of ephemera a day. It's still, for some reason, not using a lot of paper pads up. And scraps and stuff. Okay, so we're going to work with these. And now we got to bring our paper back out, because now I want to do like this edge right here. So I'm not going to do the inside edge, just this edge. And I do both sides because since I'm doing these ahead of time, I'm not going to know which side I'm using, but I don't want to have to go and do, pull out the blending tool when I get ready to use them. It'll already be all ready and ready to go. So you can see, pretty quick project. This is a mindless activity because you don't really have to think too much about this at all. I guess the only thing you would think about is the papers that you have. And my books are not like matchy, so these will be good for probably almost any book that I do. Which I like. That way I'll be able to just pull out my little bin with all my ephemera and go to town. Okay. And then the other side. All right. So now I'm going to move on to the next step, and then I'm going to come back and start working on these other ones also. Make sure we get all this stuff off. And then I'm going to take out the sewing machine. Oh yeah. Get everything together here. Bring it down so y'all can see. So what I'm going to do is just go around the outside, and then I'm going to do 2 stitches on the inside. I'm just doing a straight stitch on these. Very easy stitch. Let me turn it a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Got it at a weird angle. Get to do some enjoyable stitching here, which I love so much. And I guess just got to try to concentrate to keep things straight, because sometimes my stitching is not that straight. But then again, this is an imperfect kind of project, so it's okay if things are just a little bit wonky. Then I'm gonna go this way down that line. Go back. See the best way to go. Down this way. So this is probably, besides putting the vintage photo on, this is probably the part that takes the longest. All right, then, dun, 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 dun. So this is what we have here. Make sure it's focused, because I had to take the focus off, you know, because the focus is kind of cray. There we go. So you can see I did the outside. All right, Mr. Focus. There we go. We did the outside, around the outside there, all the way around. And then I did 2 lines down that middle line. And that way when it's folded, you can see the line on both sides. Because I don't know which side I'm going to use. So when you put it in the book, and then you flip it up, you can write inside. Doesn't that look like, it almost looks like fabric on the inside. So that's what we're going to do with all of these. So while I got the sewing machine out, we're going to just continue on. Let's get the focus back. There we go. All right. Now we can go to town. Like Festus. We're going to go to town. Y'all might not have heard that joke. I told that joke on another live stream. I'm not going to tell it again, though. A joke my mom told me. It was pretty funny. This way. Make sure. Got it kind of close. All right. Let's see. That one came out good. So when we fold it, you can see it. It's just a little bit wonky, but that's all right. Got to get my little thingy to catch all my threads. Makes it easier in the long run here. When it comes time for cleanup. Hey Truth, how you doing today? We're doing another easy project for our project 20. I'm trying to keep it easy anyway. Making some flip up tuck spot pocket thingies. That's the goal. And I'm in assembly line mode for the moment, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I wanted to kind of show you all what the finished product would be. I'm just going to stay on for an hour. And then after that, I'll complete them off Camtasia. Off Camtasia, just a little bit further over this time. And then, let's see, go back this way. Yeah. I'm trying to make a straight line. Oh, I don't know. Oh, now that one came out really wonky for some reason. Not too bad. Not too bad if I do say so myself. Next. Hey, Miss Walker and Judy. How you all doing today? Thanks for joining me today. Y'all see I'm already in sewing mode. Judy, I'm already in sewing mode. But I'm gonna go back, because this is actually the last step in the process, because I just did like a few, so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna go back into assembly line mode on these. I just wanted to have enough pockets to kind of get me started in my books. Which I need to start decorating some of the, I have some covers already done. I just need to start decorating. Because she hasn't been doing any like junk journaling or anything. All I've been doing is making ephemera like a crazy person. Which is nice because I don't think I've ever had as much ephemera as I do right now. I love it. I love having like lots of go-to pieces. So I don't have to stop and try to make something. That makes a big difference. I'm just gonna flip this around. Try to keep the line straight. Get some of that off. So see, we have our lines here when we fold it all the way around. Yay, like a little piece of pie. It is durable. It's very durable. I think adding the sewing always adds an element of durability. When I did my first journal, I actually did my pockets like this. And I've been doing it ever since like that. I like it. Let me start in the middle here. Just something a little different. Just a little bit. I'm kind of quiet because I'm trying to concentrate on doing a straight line. Because my lines are a little crazy. Zigzag is easy. Uh-oh. Something's going a little wonky here. We're stuck. Ooh. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to cut you. Gotta cut it. We got some stuff bunched up in here. We're having some technical difficulties. Somebody call 911. 911. 911. It's not that bad. Sometimes these things happen. Hopefully I won't have as many technical difficulties as I did the last time I was on. I had a crazy amount of technical difficulties. Oh, had some little rogue threads in here there too. They didn't want to go. All right. Miss Walker is working on some travel journals. Truth, you're blown away by the sewing on the paper. I know, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. It's just like sewing on fabric. Might be more fun. I'm trying to look at the chat and sew at the same time. It doesn't really work. I did not look up the sewing machine yet. Not yet, but I'm going to. Because right now this one's still working, so I'm not in a hurry rush just yet to get one, but I am definitely going to look up that machine that you all suggested to me. Oh, you paid $100 for a machine from Walmart? Yeah, you don't need anything, really don't need anything elaborate, for sure. The only thing I wish is that I had more types of stitching. But when I bought this machine, I was really just getting it to like do like some really quick sewing. I didn't even need anything elaborate, or I probably would have bought it. So that's that one. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's all the ones that we did ahead. So let me move the sewing machine out the way. It's nice that the sewing machine is kind of light too. All right. Okay. Miss Walker, I see your message. It blocked it because you put some sensitive information in there. But I see it. So hopefully it'll still be there. I can grab it when I get finished. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm still trying to read, y'all. So this is what we have so far. These are actually the finished products, but I have some more that I'm gonna be working on. But I wanted you to see them finished. So this is what they look like, and this is the 5x5 one. And let me just pull out my book here. And these are not even sewn in or anything. So this is what the 5x5 would look like in here. So it goes almost all the way to the end. So wherever you're going to be, whatever book you're putting it in, you want to make your square like a true square of the inches that you want. So I made mine 5 inches across and 5 inches high, and then folded it into a triangle. So when this gets glued on, we'll glue it on as a pocket. So we'll just put some glue around the edges, stick it on, and then you have the ability to flip up. And I put these little just lightly stenciled some vintage photo on the inside of this, so it can have some kind of decoration and not be just white. And then that way you still have a journaling opportunity. You can actually write on the inside, or you can decorate it as well. I'll probably go back and maybe put some embellishments on the outside, maybe. And so that's the big one. And then here's the smaller one right here. So you can see it's not too small, and you could actually put one at the top and put one at the bottom like this if you wanted to. I probably would just put it at the bottom though. And you could put it on either side of the paper, that side or this side, and then once you put it down, you'll still be able to put something in here. Let's see. Oh, one of my cards that I made. You can still put something inside of here, and then you can flip it out, and then you can write. So that's kind of cool. All right, so now let's move these finished ones over to the side in the book. And then we have some more cuts here to work on. Got plenty of cuts. So let me get my deli paper back out. And then I'm going to just lightly put some vintage photo on here again. Yeah, you can put the corner pockets. You can put one at the top, at the bottom, and then you can tuck things in. They won't fall out. So that makes it even better. I've done that before too. All right. And again, this is it's a pretty quick process, as you all saw. And I'm not trying to make these like super dark. I'm just lightly going over this, just so we'll be able to write on it. Oh, you're asking, Judy. I was getting ready to say I got my papers out of a whole bunch of different books this time. Paper pads this time. I didn't use just one paper pad. If anybody wants to know, I used a few. I'm kicking that debris off of here. And I'm using a deli sheet to just protect my surface, basically, and to catch that debris, because that debris gets on my nerves. Yeah, if you just put it at the top, stuff is going to fall out. But you could put, I have done this before too. I put the things like halfway, like let's see. Like instead of putting it all the way at the bottom, I put it like halfway up the page. Like that. Or if you put it at the top, you just want to make sure your pocket is closed at the bottom so things don't fall out. So you can actually just put these any place on the page, and you don't have to have it on the corners. But what I've done too is like I've taken this and cut this here so it's 2 triangles, and again I put one at the bottom and one at the top, and then if you put like a big piece of paper in there, it's not going to fall out. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, using all the different paper. I love using all the different paper. I love using vellum. Vellum is one of my favorite things. But I don't put it like throughout the books too much because it looks pretty, but it's not that easy like when it's time for you to journal to work with and stuff. So it's nice to put it in like a fly leaf in your book. I like doing it that way. And then of course making embellishments. I'm going to be making some embellishments with some vellum pretty soon too. I have some ideas, the land of ideas here. I have some ideas about the vellum for show. Okay, I'm going to use this one now. Let's trade up here. You can do it upside down too. You can do it any kind of way your heart desires. But it's definitely, like Miss Walker said, things will stay put if you keep it right side up. All right, a little bit more here. I was too lazy to try to find any of my other stencils, so I just used these 2, which are just fine because I didn't want them to be specific, if that makes sense. I just want them to be kind of androgynous. Androgynous stencils. So I can just use them on anything. Put a little bit more in here. Just so it won't be like a serious line. I kind of like the circles better. Just the straight up circles. The only thing that I've used deli paper for really is to do like the gel prints. I've done the gel prints. And then I've made like washi tape with it. But I haven't really used the deli paper in any of my books. And I just use it for things like this. Just protecting my surface for now. So if you all didn't come, if you're just coming on, we're doing our project 20 for today. And we're making some pockets. Some fold up pockets or fold down pockets. It depends on how you look at it. It's a relative term in this context. And I'm using this stencil. I call this the imperfect bubble stencil. And this was actually the prototype of the stencil that I made because I didn't have any that weren't purchased already. But the link to this is below in the shop if you're interested in it. Actually, you'll get like a for real stencil. This is not the stencil material that I use on other people's actual stencils. This just was just my my prototype on the stencil. And I love it. I call it imperfect bubble stencil because it's not perfect circles. Something a little bit different. Do I create paper ruffles? I have not done the paper ruffles. I've seen other people doing them. Of course, I always say I'm trying to keep things easy, but sometimes it doesn't seem that way with me. So I don't know like how much time the ruffles would take me to do. Because if they took too long, or I couldn't just move like to the next step in the process, then I probably wouldn't do them. But I have seen them done with the paper, and it looked fantastic. So I'm definitely going to have to try it. That's something I'm going to have to try. You got to get on it, Judy. Get on it. Yes, I love my stencils. Ooh, this thing is getting all bent out of shape here. I need to get some of those big makeup brushes that can really withstand some of these techniques that we're doing here. Let's try this one again. That's just a rough stencil because it's not the proper material. It's rough on the blending tool. This one's not so rough. Not too rough. I'm probably gonna have to change that pad. It's screaming at me. It's saying, please let me go. I don't want to stencil anymore. I've had enough. You're killing me. Alright, let me change this pad. Let's change the pad. Actually, I'm gonna use one of my homemade blending tools and see if that works a little bit better. Oh, I see. You got to do some information gathering, huh? All right. Now, I think this will be better. It has better surface area than that little one, that little Ranger one. I was having a tough time. I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner today. And of course, I'm hungry. But I didn't want to. It's always a little bit too early to eat dinner before we come on in the evening. So I'm always having to wait. I have like some small makeup sponges, like the little triangle ones. I have these, but I don't have like the big ones. So I'm gonna try some of the big ones as well. homemade blending tools. Let me tell you, this wouldn't even, it would take me about 2 minutes to tell you how I made these. First of all, I got these little, I think these are like door handles actually. I got these door handles from a thrift store. I saw them and I was like, I can do something with those. They were in the back. No, I got them at Goodwill actually. And then the only thing I did was I took the Velcro and I put the Velcro, the loop side. I put the loop side onto the back of this with some glue. I put some glue on there and I stuck it down and that was it. And there's your blending tool. It's like the easiest thing in the world. And I saw the Frugal Crafter, she used some chess pieces. She used chess pieces to make them. And she actually had a little bit of a tutorial, but it's so darn easy. It is so darn easy. And I think when I first started using the blending tools, I used those square ones. The Ranger square ones, they are horrible. They're just horrible. They don't do anything. And those little pads, they are so thin, and so this one is not that bad. So I'm still using the Ranger pads because they work out pretty good and they fit on here nicely. But I have I had enough of these where I can make one for each of the distress inks that I had, which I didn't have that many. So I'm on the hunt to look for some more of these, but I use them for my acrylic paints and everything. As you can see, it's all grungy with paint, but it's just kind of cool. Kind of cool indeed. Yeah, the blending tools are so easy. All you need is Velcro, and I had Velcro at my house already, and I was like, hey, let me try that. And these just kind of worked out perfect. A door handle is perfect because it really fits your hand well, because it's made to hold and pull things. So I say do it, y'all. Make your own blending tools. The Ranger one, they're okay, but ergonomically, they're not really that great either. Because you see like how thin the handle is. It's not really, like you can really kind of hurt your hand, but you know, if you find a handle that you can really fit your hand on, especially if you have bad hands or something, then that's definitely the way to go. Definitely. So I got just a few more of these and then I'm going to go around the edges of these. Another mindless craft here, because once you cut the paper, the only thing you have to think about is how big you want your squares to be. That is it. Grab some stencils. You don't even have to think about the stencils. Just grab some stencils and just get the stenciling, and you will be good to go. Of course, my hands are gonna have they're gonna have the distress ink all over them, but that's okay. Nothing a little soap and water won't get rid of. See, and if I miss a spot, I just go back over it. Easy peasy. All right. I got one more after this one, and then I can go around the edges. Let's see, where are we for time today? Oh, making good time on this one. We are making good time. But y'all know sometimes I'm a little long in the tooth when it comes to doing these crafts. And these pockets too, they make a good base for, of course, some more elaborate things. And you could use book pages to do it too. But I have so many, so much ephemera that already is used in book pages. I wanted to do something different. Plus, I wanted to use some of my craft paper because we need to use that stuff. It's amazing. I see people in their craft rooms. They have like walls of craft paper. Like, man, I can't do it. For one thing, I just don't have room for it to have all that craft paper. Okay, so now the next thing I'm gonna do, because now we have our pattern. So hey, beautiful, we are making some pockets. We're making pocket / fold up / tuck pocket doohickeys. Okay, and I am in assembly line mode now. Do both sides. This is the longest part of the project. It's actually distressing everything. Of course, you don't have to distress anything. You could just you can make it even easier for yourself. And you can just fold everything. You don't even have to do any sewing, and you have a pocket, a fold up pocket. But y'all know me, I gotta do just a little bit extra. I gotta give my pockets a little bit more love. That's my middle name. Lovely Liz Love. Oh, I didn't do the front of that one. What we'll do. What I'll do is I'll do the insides first, because that's how I'm feeling like just doing the insides. I really like the idea of just kind of lightly giving the inside some decoration. So when you flip it up, it's just not like just a white piece of paper. I mean, you can do some stamping as well, like with a small stamp, like, you know, with a bumblebee or butterfly or something like that, a rose or something. But you can do that still, and you could use double-sided cardstock. But if you do that, you probably will lose the ability to have another a journaling opportunity, because sometimes cardstock is a little bit elaborate. No, these are not adhesive. You have to put glue on them to put them down. Yes, I agree, Miss Walker. The more, the beautiful. Miss Walker, do you say your name Katina? Katina? I haven't tried to say your first name because I didn't want to butcher it. Because I try to say the names correctly. Just to be respectful. I don't want to be disrespectful when I'm saying your name. Katina. Yep, we're just making these pockets ahead of time so that we'll have them for our journals when we make them. Because that's what this project is all about. The Project 20 project here is doing our 20 pieces of ephemera, so we'll have stuff ahead of time. And we don't have to stop and make things. We can actually just glue things in and attach things. Katina, Katina, Katina. I think I got a Katina. Accent on the T-I-N. Katina. I love names. When I was little, I didn't like my name because my name is Elizabeth. I didn't like my name, but now I love it, especially since my name is the Queen's name. Like, her name is Elizabeth Hall, and my name is Elizabeth Hall. So when I introduce myself to people, I use word association on them. I say, my name is Elizabeth, but you can call me Queen Elizabeth. And on YouTube, everybody knows me as a lovely Lizzie. My mom hates it when I say Lizzie. She doesn't like that. She says that Lizzie sounds old-timey. She doesn't like Lizzie. She just likes Liz. She's like, I didn't name you Lizzie. Yeah, I like Elizabeth now. People, believe it or not, people can butcher Elizabeth also. And that one should be an easy one. But I guess not for some people. But I don't get all, I don't get my panties all up in a knot because somebody says my name wrong, though. But some people do. So I respect that because, that's a personal thing. So I attempt to say their names correctly. And when I'm reading the names, it's kind of even worse. Yeah, parents are funny. She's like, I did not name you that. She said she is not going to call me Lizzie. No way. That ain't happening. We just got a few of these, and then we can move on to the folding piece. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and fold a few pieces and do a little bit more sewing while we're together before I shove off for the evening. Because our time is rolling. Time goes by fast, especially the older you get, the taller you get. Yes, I've heard people call me Lisbeth. That's the worst one, Lisbeth. I'd be like, what happened to the E in my name? The E is gone. And when I was in the military, I stayed in the barracks. And I actually was roomed with another girl named Elizabeth, but they called her Beth, and they called me Liz. And nobody's ever called me Beth. So I worked with this one lady years after that, and she asked me if she could call me Beth, and I said I didn't care. I knew if I heard somebody calling my name down the road, if they said Beth, I knew it was her because she was the only person that called me Beth ever in all my years of being alive. But I didn't mind. Sometimes the things people call you are terms of endearment. And then sometimes people are just being ratchet. But I don't really hang around ratchet people, so I haven't really run into the ratchetness with the names. But I know people sometimes are just mean. They'll just say your name wrong on purpose because they think they can. Looks like tiger spots. We got leopard skin paper going here. Okay, we got 2 more of these left, which is a fantastic. So I want to do a little bit more sewing while we're on. So I'll just fold a few of these. 20. I'm making 20 pockets, but I think I might have a few more pieces here. But I'm going for the 20. I was actually stationed, I was in the Army, and I was stationed in Germany twice, in Frankfurt and Nuremberg. And also I was part of Shield Desert Storm. And let's see, so I served some time in Iraq and Saudi Arabia, and I was at Fort Carson in the States, and that was about it. I spent most of my time overseas. So let's see. And I was a petroleum supply specialist. I drove fuel trucks, which I did not do when I got out. It's not what I wanted to do when I got out. Judy, I didn't do a lot of things. I just planned for Mother's Day because my mom said she wanted to stay in. And we just had dinner. We played cards and watched movies with the family and played with the little babies and all the things that you do at a family gathering. That's what we did yesterday. And I told my kids, don't buy me flowers. And I did that because I don't want them like spending their money on stuff like that. I want them to spend their money on them. So I warned them. Usually I'll tell my son and he does it anyway, but this time he listened to me, so he did good. I told him, don't spend the money on yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, I will be giving that back to him anyway. Oh, you took the dogs to the beach. Should have took me to the beach. I would have enjoyed some beach time. I keep talking about it. I have to schedule in beach time. Because a day at the beach means that's a day when I'm not going to be doing any work. So I have to schedule that time in. So I know if I have to cut any little pieces off of here, that means that I didn't cut this in a perfect square. All right, let me do a few big ones and then I'm going to do some sewing. We'll do some sewing, And I do still have to go out along the outside of these two, but I can do that later too. I can do that while I'm sitting in front of the TV. I'm tired of watching TV though, actually. I need to be doing something else. I need to be doing something more productive. I have 2 children, but they're not children anymore. My children are grown. I have grown children. All right, I'm going to do some sewing. Ugh. All right. Yeah. Get set up here so y'all can see. I love watching YouTube videos too. Definitely. That's probably what I'm going to do this evening instead of just watching regular TV. Or should I say Hulu and Netflix? I'll probably just be doing some watching some YouTube. All right, so we're going to do a little sewing now. And I'm just using a straight stitch. And then I still have to go back and distress the outside of these as well, because I didn't do that. I just did the inside. And I'm not really thinking about this either. I'm just trying to keep the paper straight. That's the only thing I'm thinking about on this. And then And I'm gonna go down. And then go back this way. Trying to see the line. The line is hard to see on here because I didn't distress it, so I know I probably need to distress the next one so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, so this is what it looks like. Make sure we got the... So you can see I did around the edges there and on this side. And I'm still going to take the distress ink and go around there later. And then when you flip it up, that's what it looks like on the inside. So it doesn't look too shabby. I probably need to adjust my tension a little bit, but it still doesn't look bad. So we'll just throw that to the side and do another one. But this time, I'm going to do this middle. I'm just stressing the middle of this so I can see the line, because it's hard to see up under the machine. Yeah. So especially using the straight stitch really makes things go quite quickly. Because when I'm using that zigzag, it puts a little bit more work on the machine. And I'm just using a neutral color as well that kind of goes with everything. And then I'm not really cutting the thread either until I get done completely. Go down the other side. Now I can see the line now. I couldn't see it before. I was winging it. Alright. So now you can see. I'll just fold it. Oh, look at that. See, that's a little wonky, but that's okay. See, I'll just use that side. That's how you do that. This is like a beige thread. It's not even white. But I thought about using some white and see how that looks. And I like black, but sometimes black seems a little harsh for some applications. So I just for time's sake, I just started just using like the this color. Because it kind of fits right there. I forgot to do the middle again. And I can't see. I'm not going to be able to see. Let's see if I can still locate. I can see this one. And then go back down this way. It probably would look better too if I went slower, but you know, sometimes we don't want to go slow. Alright, so that's that one. It's not too bad. And then let's do a big one. This time I'm gonna just lightly go down the middle of this so I can see it. So I can see where the crack is while I'm sewing. See, so that serves two purposes. So we can see what we're doing. And you can see, even sewing around these is pretty quick. But it's not quick enough to have 20 done on the cam. That's why I'm gonna have to do some off cam, or I'll be on here for 2 hours. And I don't want to be on for 2 hours because she needs some sustenance. I gotta make me some victuals, which I don't know what I'm gonna have. I know where I got that from, victuals. See, now you gotta be old enough to know the victuals part from the Beverly Hillbillies. They didn't make food; they made victuals. I used to love that show. Crack me up. Okay, something is not going right here. Oh, I see what it is. I could tell I done sold this whole thing, but it still doesn't look bad, but the stitching is not right. I can tell that. I don't know how that came along, how that came loose. Oh well, whatever. You hungry too? Girl, me too. We're having technical difficulties, but you know what? We are at 57 minutes, so I am going to just look at what we've done so far. Oh, and I'll come back to this. This is the one I was having technical difficulties on. Let me see. Let me get my focus back here. There we go. So, but we just got to go around the edges of these. We still have these. So what we did, if anybody's coming on now, we just took some true squares. I did some 4x4s and some 5x5s. So these are the 5x5s, and then we have some 4x4s. And then I used my stencil, and you can use whatever stencil or decorate it the way you want to. Or you can use double-sided paper if you have it, which I never have double-sided paper because I just never found any that I liked. And then I went around the edges as well. And then we folded it into our little triangle. And then I also, on these, I went on the center with some of the distress ink, but I'm still going to go around the edges as well. But I did that so I could see what I was doing when I sewed it. And then I sewed around the edges, and I sewed around the middle. So that way you can see the stitching from both sides. And I did that because I'm doing this ahead of time, and I don't know which side I'm going to use. So I'll just fix it up so each side would be great for whatever I do. So we have this one, and that's how it looks on the inside. They all look the same on the inside, basically. And this one, that one. So we did 3, 4. I love this paper. 4, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we actually knocked out 8. I didn't finish them, but I did some folding earlier. Here's some more paper. So I have some big ones here. And I got some more over here. So by the end of the evening, I should be done because this is kind of like, it is a mindless crafting project as well. Oh, you was going to make something to eat, but you realize what time it was. Yeah, double-sided paper definitely costs more. And I guess, and you have to, and I didn't want the paper to be like super, super thick either, because when you have like that thick craft paper and you bend it, it always leaves like that white edge. But I mean, you can cover that up with the vintage photo as well. So, so it's not that big of a problem, but I'm just using what I have, and what I had is it's a single-sided paper. So we have all of these so far, and I'm going to finish them, and then I'll have 20 for today. So I am going to shove off, but before I go, I just want to thank everybody that has come on with me. And if you are new to coming on here, we're doing a Project 20 where we do our 20 pieces of ephemera per day. So if you like videos like this, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and please give the video a thumbs up before you leave. So if you haven't done that, I would greatly appreciate it. And I just wanted to thank Rachel and Tamika and Katina and Truth and Judy. And I don't think I saw Penny on today. So we missed Penny today. And I hope I didn't miss anybody. And Beauty as well. Thanks for coming on with me. I really appreciate it. And so until tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and shove off. So with that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease. From your sweet Lotus Blossom and lovable Lizzie, have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.